Okay, so let's talk about dating. What if I told you that some of the biggest red flags we're all trained to look for are actually green? Yeah, today we're digging into this really interesting idea that some of the things you find to be major turnoffs might actually be hidden virtues. I mean, we've all been there, haven't we? You're swiping, you're scrolling, you see someone who looks great on paper, and then, boom, you get that weird gut feeling of repulsion we now call an ick. But what if that little ick radar of yours is actually leading you astray? And this leads us to a pretty bold claim that we might be pushing away perfectly healthy partners because we're mistaking their best qualities for flaws. So, are we accidentally filtering out the exact people we're looking for just because we're totally misinterpreting their behavior? All right, let's dive into our first reevaluation. We're going to talk about a super common one, the person who seems a little too selective. You know, the one we immediately label as picky. So this right here really shows the huge shift in perspective. On the left, you've got the classic assumption, right? That being picky is just a sign of arrogance. But look at the right, the reframe. It's not about being judgmental at all. It's about having high standards and, honestly, a strong sense of self-worth. And this is exactly why it's a good thing. Someone with standards, they respect their own time, which means they're definitely going to respect yours too. They're not just dating to fill some empty space. They are looking for something real. They know what they want, and let me tell you, that kind of clarity is a total gift in the crazy, confusing world of modern dating. Okay, next step for a second look is something that can cause, well, a lot of anxiety when you're dating someone new. It's all about the pacing, and that person we might label the slow mover. You know, we're kind of conditioned to think that this immediate, intense, fireworks level interest is the only real sign of a connection. So when someone takes their time, our insecurity just flares up. We immediately think, oh, they must not be into me, or they're stringing me along. But what if the exact opposite is true? What if they're taking it slow because they're taking it seriously? A slower pace is almost always a signal of intention. It shows that they want to build a relationship on a really solid foundation of genuine connection, not just rush into things based on some initial spark. They're vetting you, sure, but they're also giving you the space to vet them, and that's a sign of real mutual respect. And this all ties into this really powerful concept called intentional dating. This isn't about playing games or being hard to get. It's a mindful approach where you're just super clear about your goals and you invest your energy wisely. When you look at it through this lens, the picky partner and the slow mover, they're not flawed. They're just dating with intention. Okay, so for our third and final reevaluation, let's tackle one of the most common judgments out there. This is all about the person with the so-called clean slate. You know, someone with very little or even no dating history. And oh man, this can be such a harsh judgment. The immediate assumption is that something must be wrong with them, right? But let's apply our new perspective here. Instead of seeing a lack of experience, what if what we're actually seeing is a history of strong boundaries and really deliberate choices? Think about it. Someone with a clean slate probably hasn't wasted their time in relationships that just weren't right for them. They're coming to you without all the baggage and messy patterns that can pile up from a string of failed partnerships. They chose to wait, to be selective, to invest their energy with real purpose. That is not a red flag. That is a sign of incredible self-possession. So, after rethinking these common icks, what are we left with? Well, we basically have a powerful new toolkit for navigating the dating world. This is all about shifting our focus from frantically spotting red flags to actually being able to identify the green ones that might be hiding in plain sight. I mean, this table pretty much sums up the whole thing perfectly. What we used to see as being too picky is reframed as simply having standards. Moving too slow becomes a desire for something real. And having no dating past is actually a sign of being highly intentional. It's a total 180-degree shift in how we see things. And this right here is the most crucial point of all. We really need to recalibrate what we're looking for because the most desirable partners, they aren't just the ones who are the most available. They're the ones who are the most intentional. And that really just leaves us with one final thought to chew on. If these three super common red flags can be so easily misunderstood, what else might you be getting wrong in your own dating life? What other potential green flags have you maybe swiped left on without even realizing it? It's definitely something to think about.